You've probably seen content online claiming that everyone is flooding into Naperville from the coast. New York plates everywhere, San Francisco money pouring in. Is that actually true, or is it a real estate narrative designed to create urgency? I pulled the actual data. Here's the honest answer. My name is Moses Bonilla, a real estate agent here in Chicagoland, specializing in Naperville and the Fox Valley area. I'm going to give you the full picture here, right? So the good, the complicated, and the parts that don't fit neatly into a marketing story. Because if you're making a decision about where to live based on what's happening in this market, you deserve the complete truth. Grab the free Naperville relocation guide in the description if you're seriously planning a move. It covers everything you need to know before you start searching. Now, let's get into the data. Now, here's what is true and verifiable. Illinois lost more than 40,000 residents to other states in 2025, according to U.S. Census Bureau data. The Chicago-Schaumburg metro area was the largest contributor to that loss. More than 35,000 people left that metro for other states last year alone. Illinois ranks 48th out of 50 states for domestic migration. Only California and New York lost more residents to other states. And that is not a rumor. That is documented Census Bureau data released in January 2026. So anyone telling you there is a broad flood of people moving in Illinois is not giving you the complete picture. But here's where it gets more nuanced and more interesting for buyers who are actually considering this market. Illinois' total population actually grew about 16,000 people in 2025. How? International migration. Nearly 45,000 international migrants came in, which more than offset the domestic flow. The state is not in free fall, but it is being propped up by international migration rather than people choosing to move here from other American cities. And that distinction matters. Now, here's the part that directly applies to Naperville buyers, and this is where the data gets genuinely interesting. The same census data that shows Illinois losing residents also shows that Illinois gained net population from New York State specifically. About 11,000 people moved from New York to Illinois, while roughly 7,800 went the other direction. A net gain for Illinois from New York. And that is real. And a significant portion of those New York buyers are landing in the suburbs, specifically in markets like Naperville. The Redfin migration data from late 2025 confirms it. Buyers are actively searching for Naperville homes from New York, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and let's not forget Philadelphia, right? So that search interest is documented and real. But here's the critical distinction. This is not a mass migration. It is a targeted, high-intent segment. We are talking about high-income professionals and families who have reached a specific breaking point in their current market. Their housing costs are unsustainable. Their school options require private tuition, and their quality of life relative to what they are paying no longer makes sense. For those buyers, Naperville represents a very specific calculation: top 50 national school districts, genuine safety, real community, and Chicago access. A home price that is a fraction of what the same quality of life costs in their current city. This is why they keep calling. Not because of a trend, but because of the math. So what does all of this actually mean if you're considering a move to Naperville? It means the narrative of a migration boom to Illinois is broadly overstated. If someone is using general Illinois or Chicago metro population numbers to tell you the market is exploding, be skeptical. DuPage County, where most of Naperville sits, lost 5,854 residents to domestic outmigration in 2025. And that's the honest number. But the more specific story that Naperville continues to attract a targeted stream of high-income relocating buyers from expensive coastal markets, that is real and documented. And it is one of the reasons well-priced homes in desirable Naperville neighborhoods continue to move quickly despite broader market softening across the region. Naperville punches above its weight as a destination precisely because of what it offers relative to its price point. The buyers finding it are not following a trend. They are making a deliberate calculation. And whether you are buying or selling in this market, understanding that distinction matters. Now, before I close this out, the full picture includes the trade-offs, and I will not skip this. Illinois has structural fiscal challenges, so property taxes are high. DuPage County effective rates run around 2.2%. On a $600,000 home, that is roughly $13,000 a year. And that is real money that belongs in your monthly budget calculation. In 2025, 95% of people who left Illinois for other states moved to states with lower tax burdens. That tells you something about how residents feel about the tax environment here long term. The winners are significant, right? So buyers are coming from warm climates consistently list this as the biggest lifestyle adjustment. Go in with eyes open. And the cost of living comparison only works if you are coming from a genuinely expensive market. If you're relocating from like Indianapolis or Columbus, the math looks very different than if you're coming from New York or San Francisco. Know which category you are in before you make the move. If you're trying to cut through the noise and figure out whether Naperville actually makes sense for your specific situation, that is exactly what I help buyers do. I will give you the real numbers, the honest trade-offs, and a clear picture of what this market actually looks like right now. Not what sounds good in a thumbnail. Grab the free Naperville relocation guide in the description or reach out directly. The link is below. So the honest answer to the question, is there really a migration boom to Naperville? Illinois broadly is losing residents to other states and ranks third worst in the entire country for domestic outmigration. The Chicago Metro, including Naperville, lost more than 35,000 residents to other states in 2025. Those are real numbers, and I am not going to hide them. But within that picture, Naperville specifically continues to grow. It continues to attract a meaningful segment of high-income relocating buyers from expensive markets who are making a deliberate financial and lifestyle decision. That segment is documented in census data and Redfin migration data. It drives real demand in this market, and it is worth understanding whether you are a buyer, a seller, or just trying to figure out if this is the right place for your family. If this gave you a clearer picture, hit like and subscribe. I put out honest, data-driven content about this market every week. And before you go, drop a comment below. Tell me where you are relocating from and what made you start looking at Naperville. I read every single one and I will respond. See you in the next one.